Hello and welcome to Car Dealer Live, where we talk to people right across the industry. And today, I'm delighted to say we're going to be chatting with Paul Philpott, President and CEO of Kia Motors UK. And he joins me now. Hello, Paul.
Hi, James. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to have a chat. And in actual fact, it's quite nice to have a chat with somebody in person. Because the last 3 months I've been talking to people on the computer screen. So thanks very much for welcoming us here.
Welcome to our socially distanced office.
I know, it's all very secure, very safe. I mean, really, it's been a bit of an interesting year, to put it in the mildest, hasn't it? How has it been for Kia in the UK?
Well, it's been a challenging year for everybody. Anyone that claims otherwise, is lying.
Yes.
First quarter was looking really good up until March the 23rd when we had to shut everything. And the close to March was really tough for us and our dealers.
Yeah.
April just got worse. I think we sold 50 cars in April. May we got a few more out, sold about 1,000, but those sorts of volumes are not sustainable.
No.
Thankfully, then the English dealers were allowed to reopen on June the 1st, followed by the Northern Irish, the Welsh, and finally the Scottish dealers at the end of June. And June was very much a recovery month. We talked about, across all of our communications, being open, being safer and being stronger as a message from our dealer network to consumers and from Kia to car buyers.
Yeah.
We got resources back in June. Dealers progressively got their staff back. Workshops became busy pretty quickly. Used car demand lifted virtually overnight. And new car business progressively came back. Now, obviously, we'd lost about 5,000 cars from March, which we had stored, ready to go out to customers, and they had to be delivered. So we could get cash rolling again through the network quite quickly. I have to say, since the end of June, we've had a really good time. July was an all-time record month for us. Sales were up 28% on last year, which was our previous record, July. And even in August, we sold over 4,000 cars, 20% growth on last year, and went into September with a good order bank.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at August in particular, I mean, I know you said you're up to 21%, sold just over 4,000 cars. I mean, 4.79% market share. If you compared that 21% rise to other manufacturers, Hyundai up nearly 15%, Ford just over 0.7%, VW down 22%. In the marketplace, Kia is looking pretty strong at the present moment, isn't it?
Yeah, we are. I mean, we're tracking at about a 4.6% market share for the 8 months to the end of August. At the moment, I think we're closer to 5% in September, but we'll wait to see what happens in the final 10 days of the month. But yes, we're in a good place. Our product range is strong. People are looking more so for value in products. 7-year warranty has always been a key message for us. But also, I think if you're going to be strong and you're going to grow in today's marketplace, you need a good range of electrified cars. And year to date, about 23% of our sales are electrified, i.e. hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or pure EV. And if I look at the full year perspective, I think around 11, maybe 12% of our total sales full year will be pure electric vehicles, i.e. e-Niro or Soul EV. Which, if and that's where, if you look at the two real drivers of demand right now, it's either eco or it's SUV. And if you've got a combination of the both, you're in a good position. I think that's really helping us drive volume growth, share growth, and putting profit back in our network. And boy, did they need it after a difficult quarter two.
Absolutely. I mean, and Kia have they got onto the idea that you need to offer electrified models pretty early on. I mean, there are quite a lot of other manufacturers who are struggling to catch up, really. Is the supply of e-Niro back up and running? Because I know that was a big problem, especially, I mean, was it last year when it was Car of the Year? And of course, you got all the publicity of that, and then you struggled to get them into the country.
Yeah, I mean, e-Niro, thankfully, dealers have done a really good job with customers. Customers were prepared to wait for e-Niro. So we've had a long order bank ever since Car of the Year. The supply is getting better, and to demonstrate that, to the end of August, we've registered, round numbers, about 3,000 e-Niro. In September alone, we'll register about 1,600 e-Niro. And I would expect in Q4 to add another probably 3,500. So full year will be about 8,000 e-Niros will go out. So the supply is now coming through, and of course it needs to. We've all got CO2 targets to hit on a pan-European basis this year, but from next year, we have to hit it by ourselves. You know, Brexit, UK on its own, we have a CO2 target to hit next year. EVs become even more important.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think customers are still a little bit confused when it comes to hybrids, mild hybrids, full electric cars? I know your product range does help that. For instance, the Niro, you know, they've got those fantastic adverts with Robert De Niro where the products are clearly delineated. But in general, not just Kia specifically, do you think customers are still a little bit confused by everything?
I think if you generalise, yes. But I think we've done a lot of work through the dealers to describe the differences, to help them describe the differences to customers of a hybrid, self-charging hybrid versus a plug-in hybrid versus an EV, so that customers get the best car, the car that's right for them and their driving needs. I think there's still a lot more to do in terms of educating customers on what the differences are and why they are increasingly a really good choice for people.
Yeah.
But I think it underlines why you need well-trained dealers delivering a great experience, because it is now a complex choice people have to make. So all these people that say, oh, well, people are going to buy online, without, you know, I think customers will want, in the same way as they go to an Apple store to ask for advice on Apple products, our products are a lot more complex. And with a lot of new technologies, and with now quite a bewildering choice of powertrains, I think they're looking for a consultant, a specialist advisor, who can help a consumer make the right decision about powertrains. But I think, ongoing, we've got to continue to work to help consumers understand the difference and the benefits of each choice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's just talk about online car sales, because there's been a lot of car manufacturers, especially during lockdown, because they've had to, they've catalysed their online sales programs. Really, generally speaking, the proportion of people who do a proper end-to-end car purchase online is still pretty small, isn't it? What's Kia's plans in offering an online service?
Okay. Well, at the moment, we do not sell online.
Yeah.
We have a dealer network, and we do there's a lot of homework background done online, but then we direct leads to our retail network. And I think, you know, you and I would probably spend hundreds of pounds online without consulting with someone who might know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And most of the time, we tend to get it right.
Yeah.
Some of the time, we might regret what we've bought and send it back. I don't know about you, but I would not be up for spending thousands, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 pounds on buying anything at the touch of a button without talking to someone and understanding why that product is really what I should be spending my money on. Sell it to me. And that's why I don't think full end-to-end online processes are really going to take the car market by storm. And our position is that the dealer is integral to this. Test driving a car, for most customers, is still a key part of the buying process. So I need customers to be able to test drive my product range. Particularly now we're getting EVs and PHEVs and HEVs, diesel, petrol. You know, come in, try the product out, understand it, choose the one that's best for you. Making that decision at the press of a button at home without doing that, I think is going to be very, very limited. So I think our position is that we want to do what's right for the consumer, but I think they will want interaction with specialists, consultants, advisors, who are our salespeople. If we can do that, if a customer wants to do that all online, through live chat, which we're now rolling out to all of our dealers, and live dealer, which is an evolution of that with video, much like we have Zoom calls now, you can do video walk rounds around our products in the showroom so that you can take even more of the car buying process online, but involving the dealer, building that trust between the consumer and the salesperson, I think is still critical. And I think some of the used car retailers have had some success about buy this specific car. Here's photos, here's video of it, but it's probably, in the main, a less than £10,000 purchase. And they've probably got some recourse to take it back if they don't like that car after they've actually seen it and driven it away.
Yeah.
With a new car, I think you've got more choice, and I think it's important that we provide the service that the customer really wants.
Yeah.
In May, for example, we had no dealer open. We don't have a pure online sales process, yet we registered over 1,000 cars. So dealers have processes to get cars to customers if customers want to do it online or on the telephone or without a physical interaction.
Yeah.
But I strongly believe that an amalgamation of offline and online is what can deliver the best customer experience for most customers.
Yeah.
I think, just without going on, James, I think you only have to look at a few examples of what's happening out there to understand that online and offline, or online and physical, probably best work together rather than substitution for one another. Firstly, obvious example, Apple, 38 stores physical stores across the UK. Their products are a lot easier to sell online, to deliver to people, what have you, but they still have 38 stores. Tesla they were the great online seller, now have 21 UK dealerships, and they're in fairly high-cost locations. So that's quite a big overhead for them to take. And I think one of the most interesting developments recently is Cazoo, online retailer of used car, buying Imperial cars, 18 used car supermarkets. What message does that say about pure online retailing for cars? And that's why I think we're in a good place, in that we have a very strong partnership with our dealers. We're not going to do anything that aims to compete with them as our primary route to market. But at the same time, we want to work with we want to deliver each and every customer the experience that they want and take them as far online as they want to.
Yeah.
Give them the option, but primarily I think the best option for most customers is through the dealership, experiencing the physical environment, meeting the people, so that when they do have servicing needs later, it's not unfamiliar to them. You can't get a car serviced online.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
all about words, I'm not sure pure online is with us anytime soon, but I think a digital, physical journey can deliver a great customer experience.
Yeah. And I, in all honesty, I think I'm probably with you. I think in the purchases that I've made during lockdown, not necessarily cars, but high-end purchases, you do sort of want that. You've done your research, you feel as though you're well read on the products, but you just want that last step from a physical person to actually guide you through, don't you? So let's just briefly talk about used cars, because I don't know about you, but we've been absolutely blown away by how, how popular they've been. Prices have been rising. What have your dealers been saying to you? Have they been struggling to get hold of stock? What's it been like for you?
Absolutely. I mean, we supply the dealer with our approved used cars, so cars that come back to us, our own company vehicles, and we've seen demand at unprecedented levels. Dealers report really strong used car demand, really since June the 1st. So they were allowed to open. And I think you talk to the dealers about why.
Yeah.
And customers have not spent much money in lockdown. They've not been able to go on their long-haul holidays. They've watched their car look all a bit dusty and not turn much of a wheel for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I think the used car market is being driven by people wanting to treat themselves to something during what's been a pretty challenging year. And long may it continue.
Yeah.
Because it is driving values up, which is good for new car business too.
It is, yeah. And let's face it, people are coming out of 3-year PCP deals, which is in turn driving stock into the used car park, isn't it? Do you actually buy into this view that there has been pent-up demand? Because that has been a phrase that has been bandied around a lot. Do you think there has been a pent-up demand, or do you think it's just been the natural sort of machinations of the new car market?
I don't think there has been pent-up demand. I think there has been a lack of the opportunity for people to spend money during lockdown. Now, I think that's different to pent-up demand. I think that's people then have cash and I think, what do I spend it on? What can I spend it on? Let's treat myself, because I've had a rough old 2 months. Let's treat myself and the family to something new and sparkly on the drive. And either a new car or a used car gives that feel-good factor to people.
Yeah. Lastly, let's just look at the rest of the year, and I know I'm probably going to ask you to get your crystal ball out now, but it's the potential to be pretty tough. We've got potential supply problems across the board for manufacturers. There is the B word again that has that has reared its ugly head again. What's your expectation for Q4? Is it going to be tough?
I think it will be tough. We're seeing an evolving situation with coronavirus.
Yeah.
We've heard more restrictions coming that potentially could be with us for the next 6 months. Now, all of that is a worry. I can't really control that. What I can control and drive is our market share of whatever demand is out there. And in the end, consumers will have money to spend. And I think the fact that we've got an improving supply line of eco cars, which more people are turning to, plus we've got about to launch a brand new Sorrento, and we've got to launch 3 new small car mid-cycle facelifts, that drives feel good in the dealerships. It is also something to talk about to existing customers. If you've got a 3-year-old Picanto and a new facelift Picanto, come on down and take a test drive. You can take it out by yourself, experience it, feel the difference, because residual values are so strong, for maybe only £5 or £10 per month more on a PCP, we can give you a new car. Won't that feel better through these difficult times? So I think it will be very easy to get doom and gloom through the winter months. But we've got so much to be grateful for, to be thankful for right now. Supply has been tough. We've had a really good Q3 and put profit and cash back into our dealerships, which I think will be sufficient to see them all through to the end of the year, barring a complete collapse and back into lockdown. And then we're into who knows what. We're in a good position. And therefore, I remain upbeat that we'll get through the end of September, we'll get into Q4, new products, better supply, we'll get through to year end. We'll stockpile a few cars in case Brexit trade deal is not done, so that we can protect ourselves somewhat for Q1. And let's take each week, each month as it comes. But if I get down as a head of a UK business, then my people get down. That rubs off on my dealers, and that rubs off on their people. And ultimately, it's doom and gloom all round. So I remain pretty upbeat right now.
Well, I'm positive as well. Let's keep that positive theme going through the rest of the year. Paul, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there for today, I'm afraid. But as ever, an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thank you.
So that's it for today's Car Dealer Live. If you'd like to be on a show just like this one, then please do email me, james.batchelor@blackbullmedia.co.uk. But until next time, thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.